The Rock has dropped nearly 60 pounds in just a few months, and fans aren't convinced it's only for a movie role. Something feels off. Now his coach has made a shocking revelation about why.
Bro is a living heart attack. He's a survivor. He's lucky to be alive.
Apparently, it all ties back to his heavy steroid use. Let me break it all down. The stunning transformation that shocked the world.
So people have been writing me all day. They want me to weigh in on this. And they're asking me, why is The Rock so skinny? I think they're worried about him. I think they're worried there could be when Chadwick Boseman got really thin, people got worried, and they were right to be worried.
The entertainment world was left absolutely speechless when Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson appeared at the Venice Film Festival looking dramatically different from the mountain of muscle we've known for decades. The dramatic weight loss of approximately 60 pounds sent shockwaves throughout social media platforms worldwide, with fans jokingly calling him "The Pebble" instead of "The Rock," a nickname that, while humorous on the surface, revealed the genuine shock and concern rippling through his massive global fan base. The transformation became even more puzzling and mysterious when we consider the incredibly tight timeline involved. Just months earlier, The Rock appeared at WWE's Elimination Chamber in February, looking as massive and imposing as ever, his trademark boulder-like shoulders and tree-trunk arms commanding attention from every angle. This was followed by his appearance on the Pat McAfee Show after WrestleMania in mid-April, where he maintained his signature muscular build that had become synonymous with his brand and identity. Yet by September, when he stepped onto that red carpet in Venice, he looked like an entirely different person, not just thinner, but somehow diminished in ways that went beyond mere physical measurements. The visual impact was so striking that entertainment reporters and photographers couldn't help but focus on the dramatic change. But here's where the story takes an even more intriguing and suspicious turn. The official narrative being pushed by Hollywood publicists and entertainment outlets centered around his preparation for the biographical film The Smashing Machine, where Johnson portrays legendary MMA fighter Mark Kerr. According to mainstream media reports, Johnson had to shed significant muscle mass to accurately represent the fighter. On the surface, this explanation seemed plausible enough. After all, method actors have been known to undergo dramatic physical transformations for roles, with Christian Bale being perhaps the most famous example of extreme weight fluctuations for various characters. However, fitness experts, sports analysts, and longtime followers of The Rock's career immediately began questioning this explanation with legitimate concerns and valid skepticism. Mark Kerr, the fighter Johnson was portraying, was himself a massive, intimidating presence in the octagon during his prime, a jacked-up, roided-up bodybuilder who happens to be a UFC fighter, as one prominent fitness coach described him. The logic simply didn't add up in any coherent way. Why would Johnson need to lose 60 pounds of muscle to play someone who is known for having exactly that kind of imposing, intimidating physical presence that had made him such a dominant force in mixed martial arts? The contradictions became even more apparent and glaring when we examined the filming timeline with greater scrutiny. Reports indicate that The Smashing Machine had already wrapped filming months before Johnson's dramatic weight loss became apparent. This revelation completely undermined the official narrative. If the weight loss was truly for the role, why did it occur after the movie was completed, rather than during the preparation and filming phases, when it would have actually been necessary for the character portrayal?
If you're looking at the movie, does this look like a man who lost a significant amount of muscle? Or does it not look like a guy who's jacked and huge and literally looks like a rock? Did they in fact use this movie role as a scapegoat? A reason to appease the fans, to explain why exactly he lost all that muscle?
This significant discrepancy led many in the fitness community, entertainment industry insiders, and medical professionals to search for alternative explanations that might make more logical sense. The most shocking revelation came from examining the people closest to Johnson's transformation, specifically his personal trainer and longtime confidant Dave Rienzi, whose role in this story extends far beyond typical professional boundaries. Rienzi has been Johnson's personal strength and conditioning coach since around 2012, helping him maintain his legendary physique through countless Hollywood roles, demanding action sequences, and physically punishing WWE appearances that required peak conditioning and recovery. But Rienzi's connection to Johnson extends far beyond the typical trainer-client relationship in ways that most people in the entertainment industry would find unusual, if not completely unprecedented. In what many consider one of Hollywood's most unusual and potentially awkward arrangements, Rienzi married Johnson's ex-wife, Dany Garcia, in March 2014. This created a triangle of relationships that defies conventional understanding and social norm. Yet despite this potentially explosive dynamic, all three continue to work together professionally on various business ventures, maintaining what appears to be a harmonious but undeniably complex relationship structure. Garcia and Johnson were married from 1997 to 2008, sharing what was described as an amicable divorce that allowed them to maintain a strong professional partnership. This wasn't just a casual business relationship either. Garcia became Johnson's manager post-divorce and co-founded Seven Bucks Productions with him in 2012, positioning herself as one of the most influential people in his professional life. This company has been responsible for producing major hits like Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, Moana, and various Fast and Furious spin-offs, amassing a combined net worth for the duo exceeding $800 million. The financial stakes involved in maintaining this relationship harmony are enormous, adding another layer of complexity to an already unusual situation. But the revelations about Johnson's transformation go beyond just relationship dynamics and enter into territory that's genuinely concerning from a health perspective. Recent reports have uncovered serious cardiovascular health concerns that may have played a crucial, if not determining, role in his dramatic physical changes. Johnson has shared details about a health scare involving what appeared to be potential coronary artery disease, a condition where plaque builds up in the arteries supplying the heart, potentially leading to dangerous blockages and serious risks like heart attacks or strokes that could be fatal. This health scare came to light during Johnson's June 2025 interview on The Dr. Mark Hyman Show, where he described routine cardiovascular testing at age 53 that flagged serious concerns in his circumflex artery, one of the major blood vessels supplying the heart muscle. Initial scans using traditional MRI and imaging suggested plaque buildup, prompting doctors to recommend immediate multi-month medication, possibly statins or other treatments to manage cholesterol and prevent further narrowing that could lead to a cardiac event. The timing of this health revelation in relation to Johnson's dramatic weight loss has raised serious questions among medical professionals and fitness experts about whether the transformation was truly voluntary or if it was motivated by medical necessity and survival instincts. While Johnson has publicly maintained that the weight loss was intentional for his movie role, the coincidence of a potentially life-threatening cardiac health scare occurring around the same time period has led many to speculate about the real driving forces behind his physical transformation. The shocking health revelations and hidden truths. The health revelations surrounding Dwayne Johnson's transformation became exponentially more alarming and concerning when medical experts, cardiologists, and fitness professionals began analyzing the details of his cardiac testing and the profound implications of his dramatic physical changes. The cardiac episode that Johnson described in his interview was far more serious and potentially life-threatening than initially presented to the public through carefully managed media appearances and sanitized press releases. Johnson was hesitant to take the recommended medication, as he'd never been on medication before, and sought a second opinion from functional medicine expert Dr. Mark Hyman. This hesitation revealed something absolutely crucial about Johnson's mindset and psychological relationship with his physical condition. For a man who had built his entire identity, career success, and public persona around being the ultimate physical specimen and the epitome of health and strength, the prospect of requiring medical intervention was not just troubling, but potentially devastating to his self-image and core identity.
Oh, is a living heart attack. He's a survivor. He's lucky to be alive.
The severity and urgency of the situation became starkly apparent when medical professionals examined the serious implications of narrowing in the circumflex artery, one of the most critical blood vessels supplying the heart muscle.
And he does the dye test. It shows a narrowing of his left circumflex. The doctor knows this.
This type of arterial narrowing and potential blockage is not something that develops overnight or appears suddenly without warning. It's typically the result of years, if not decades, of cardiovascular stress, lifestyle factors, dietary choices, and potentially the use of substances that can accelerate arterial damage and plaque formation. What made the situation even more concerning and medically significant was the pattern of behavior that Johnson exhibited in response to his potentially life-threatening diagnosis. Rather than immediately following medical advice from qualified cardiologists who had identified a serious problem, he sought multiple opinions, seemingly hoping to find a doctor who would tell him what he wanted to hear, rather than what he desperately needed to hear for his long-term survival.
You know, if I call somebody else, maybe they'll say, I don't need to take it. I don't want to take it. And so let me hop from one doctor to the next until I find a doctor that says, no, it's all right.
This doctor shopping behavior raised immediate red flags among medical professionals who recognized the dangerous pattern of someone in complete denial about serious, potentially fatal health issues. It's a psychological defense mechanism that's unfortunately common among high-achieving individuals who have built their identity around physical prowess and invincibility, the inability to accept that their body might be failing them in fundamental ways. Johnson ultimately received a second opinion that used advanced AI-assisted cardiac cardiac scanning, which revealed no actual plaque or CAD, just a harmless anatomical variation. However, the initial findings and Johnson's response to them painted a deeply troubling picture of someone whose body was sending urgent warning signals that couldn't and shouldn't be ignored, regardless of what subsequent tests might reveal. The cardiac health scare took on additional significance and became even more ominous when viewed through the lens of Johnson's long-rumored and widely suspected use of performance-enhancing substances throughout his career. While Johnson has only vaguely acknowledged experimenting with steroids in college around age 18, 19, fitness experts, medical professionals, and industry insiders have long suspected that his ability to maintain such an extreme, almost superhuman physique well into his 50s might involve more than just natural training, superior genetics, and exceptional nutrition.
Smarter people said, well, obviously he just topped off the sauce. I mean, how else do you explain him losing 27 kilograms, which is about 60 pounds of muscle?
I think we all know there was something else that changed his physique tremendously, and that's most likely PEDs.
The connection between performance-enhancing drug use and cardiovascular health is extensively documented in medical literature and represents one of the most serious long-term risks associated with anabolic steroid use. Long-term anabolic steroids can indeed raise CAD risks by promoting plaque and inflammation, which would explain both the cardiac concerns that Johnson experienced and the dramatic physical transformation that followed his health scare. The timeline suggests that Johnson may have been forced to dramatically reduce or eliminate substances that had been supporting his extreme muscle mass, resulting in the rapid weight loss that shocked the entertainment world. But perhaps the most shocking and psychologically revealing aspect of this entire situation came from analyzing Johnson's recent public statements about his career trajectory, personal life, and fundamental identity. In interviews promoting The Smashing Machine, Johnson made deeply personal comments that suggested a man undergoing profound self-reflection and emotional processing about his life choices, relationships, and the person he had become.
I don't think my dad was an inspiration in terms of his tenderness. It wasn't really my dad. He was homeless by the time he was 13, so his capacity for love was very limited, and that's the man that raised me.
These deeply personal and vulnerable revelations about his father's emotional limitations and childhood trauma suggested that Johnson was going through a period of intense psychological processing and emotional healing that went far beyond simple career considerations. His father had passed away in 2020, and Johnson's comments indicated that he was still working through complex, unresolved feelings about their relationship and how his father's emotional unavailability had shaped his own approach to life, relationships, and emotional expression. The emotional component of Johnson's transformation became even more apparent and psychologically significant when examining the unconventional and potentially stressful dynamics of his current personal life. The situation with his ex-wife Dani Garcia being married to his personal trainer Dave Rienzi has been a source of ongoing speculation, commentary, and psychological analysis. Some online chatter claims the split left Johnson in a vulnerable state, leading to depression and unintended weight shedding over time, exacerbated by the unconventional setup. Persistent rumors suggest that seeing his ex-wife with his close collaborator, Rienzi, created ongoing tension, with theories that Johnson lost his appetite metaphorically and literally due to unresolved feelings. While these remain unverified claims and speculation, they highlight the extraordinarily complex emotional landscape that Johnson has been navigating while attempting to maintain professional relationships with both Garcia and Rienzi, all while dealing with serious health concerns and intense career pressures. The psychological impact of this unusual triangular arrangement cannot be understated or dismissed as trivial. Johnson has publicly praised both Garcia and Rienzi, emphasizing their enduring friendship and shared goals. But maintaining such relationships requires an extraordinary level of emotional maturity, psychological compartmentalization, and stress management that would challenge even the most emotionally intelligent individuals. The constant stress of managing these complex dynamics while dealing with health concerns, career pressures, and public scrutiny could easily manifest in physical ways, including significant changes in appetite, sleep patterns, stress hormone levels, and overall physical and mental well-being. Adding another crucial layer to this complex psychological picture was Johnson's own candid admission about his struggles with clinical depression following his divorce from Garcia. Johnson has openly discussed hitting rock bottom with depression after the divorce, though rumors exaggerate this into a narrative of him being suicidal or spiraling due to the marriage's end. While the more extreme claims lack substantiation and should be treated with appropriate skepticism, Johnson's acknowledged battle with depression provides vitally important context for understanding his recent transformation transformation and the psychological factors that may have contributed to his dramatic physical changes. The timing of various significant life events creates an even more complex and psychologically challenging picture when examined comprehensively. Johnson remarried in 2019, wedding longtime partner Lauren Hashin in a private ceremony in Hawaii. The two had been together since around 2007, shortly before his divorce was finalized, and have two daughters, Jasmine, born 2015, and Tiana, born 2018. Despite this apparently stable family life and the joy of raising young children, the ongoing pressures of maintaining professional and personal relationships with his ex-wife and her current husband while building and nurturing a new family unit would create significant stress, emotional complexity, and psychological challenges for anyone, regardless of their emotional intelligence or coping skills. Perhaps most tellingly, and revealing about Johnson's current psychological state, his recent public statements revealed a man engaged in deep questioning about his life choices, career direction, and fundamental identity.
I looked around a few years ago and I started to think, I shared this with these guys, is that, am I living my dream or am I living other people's dreams? And
this existential questioning and profound self-reflection suggested that Johnson's transformation wasn't just physical, it was part of a broader, more comprehensive life reassessment that touched on his career trajectory, personal relationships, health priorities, and core identity as both a person and a public figure. The dramatic weight loss, when viewed in this context, becomes not just a professional choice for a movie role, but a visible, external manifestation of internal changes, psychological processing, and life reevaluation that had been building and intensifying for years beneath the surface of his public persona. The truth behind the transformation and what it really means. The final piece of the puzzle surrounding Dwayne Johnson's shocking transformation reveals a story that goes exponentially deeper than Hollywood method, acting, simple career reinvention, or even standard midlife crisis territory. What we're witnessing is the convergence of multiple life-changing factors that forced one of the world's most recognizable figures to completely reassess his priorities, relationships, health choices, and the very foundation of his identity as both a public figure and a private individual navigating complex personal challenges. The most significant revelation came from understanding the true timeline and underlying motivation behind Johnson's physical transformation when examined through the lens of medical necessity rather than artistic choice. While the mainstream narrative focused relentlessly on his role preparation for the Smashing Machine, the mounting evidence suggests that the dramatic weight loss was actually a response to a perfect storm of serious health warnings, complex relationship dynamics, intense career pressures, and psychological factors that had been building and intensifying for years beneath the carefully managed surface of his public persona.
The Rock, if you think, has been 100% natural for all these movie roles, then I don't know what to tell you. Frankly, it's been more and more ridiculous each and every day. People claiming to be natty, saying natural in their bio.
The cardiac health scare appears to have been the crucial catalyst that forced Johnson to confront the fundamental unsustainability of his extreme lifestyle, training regimens, and potentially dangerous approach to maintaining his superhuman physique. Experts note that long-term anabolic steroids can indeed raise CAD risks by promoting plaque and inflammation, and the timing of Johnson's cardiovascular concerns, coinciding precisely with his dramatic physical transformation, suggests that medical necessity, rather than artistic choice or career considerations, may have been the primary driving factor behind his shocking appearance change. But the health implications extend far beyond just cardiovascular concerns and enter territory that encompasses his entire approach to physical conditioning, recovery, and longevity. Johnson's transformation represents a broader recognition that the extreme physical demands he had placed on his body for decades, the relentless training schedules, the massive caloric intake required to maintain his size, the potential use of substances to support such extreme muscle mass, were no longer sustainable at age 53, regardless of his genetic advantages or access to the best medical care money could buy.
And I want to tell the world that my health is suffering, and I made the conscious decision to stop abusing performance-enhancing drugs. From this moment on, I'm only on HRT prescribed by my doctor in lower and healthier doses.
While Johnson has never made such a direct public statement admitting to performance-enhancing drug use, fitness experts, medical professionals, and industry insiders suggest that this type of transition from extreme muscle mass to a more sustainable natural physique is exactly what someone in his position should consider for long-term health, longevity, and quality of life as they enter their 6th decade. The psychological component of Johnson's transformation cannot be overlooked or minimized, as it may represent the most significant aspect of this entire story. His recent public statements reveal a man undergoing profound self-reflection about his life choices, career trajectory, personal relationships, and fundamental identity as both a performer and a human being.
You know, when you're in Hollywood, as we all know, and it had become about box office, and you chase the box office. And the box office in our business that we know is very loud, and it can be very resounding, and it could push you into a category and into a corner, and this is your lane. And this is what you do, and this is what people want you to be, and this is what Hollywood wants you to be.
This statement reveals someone who had become trapped, perhaps unconsciously, by his own remarkable success and carefully cultivated public image. The pressure to maintain his physical presence, box office appeal, and larger-than-life persona had created a prison of expectations, public pressure, and personal limitations that may have become psychologically unbearable. The dramatic weight loss represents not just a physical transformation, but a symbolic breaking free from these constraints and an attempt to reclaim control over his own narrative and identity. The role of his personal relationships in this transformation adds another crucial and deeply complex dimension to the story that extends far beyond simple professional considerations. The unconventional arrangement with his ex-wife, Dany Garcia, and trainer Dave Rienzi, while publicly portrayed as harmonious and mutually beneficial, likely created underlying tensions, psychological stress, and emotional complexities that would challenge anyone's mental health and emotional well-being, regardless of their emotional intelligence or coping mechanisms. The speculation about emotional distress and ongoing tension from this dynamic, while unverified, highlights the psychological pressures Johnson has been navigating. Perhaps most significantly from a career and artistic perspective, Johnson's transformation coincides precisely with his pursuit of serious dramatic acting roles, require a different kind of physical presence, emotional vulnerability, and artistic credibility than his previous action hero persona. His comments about wanting to be taken seriously as an actor, rather than just a box office attraction, suggest that the weight loss was part of a broader career reinvention. This echoes his earlier career transition in the mid-2000s when he initially lost weight to distance himself from his wrestling persona and avoid being typecast as just a muscle-bound action star. The critical reception of The Smashing Machine appears to have validated this risky approach and demonstrated that his gamble may have paid off artistically. Reports indicate that the film received a 15-minute standing ovation at the Venice Film Festival, with near-universal praise from critics and an 89% certified fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes. This overwhelming positive response suggests that Johnson's controversial decision, sacrificing his signature physical presence for dramatic credibility and artistic authenticity, may have finally achieved the critical recognition and artistic validation he had been seeking for years. However, the personal cost of this transformation raises important and troubling questions about the extreme pressures faced by celebrities, the unrealistic expectations placed on public figures, and the potentially dangerous measures they feel compelled to take to reinvent themselves and maintain relevance in an increasingly competitive entertainment landscape. Johnson's journey from his peak muscular physique to his current leaner appearance represents more than just a professional choice. It's a reflection of the complex interplay between health concerns, relationship dynamics, career pressures, and personal identity that defines modern celebrity culture and the psychological toll it can take on even the most successful individuals. The role of Dave Rienzi in this transformation takes on new significance and potentially concerning implications when viewed through this comprehensive lens. As Johnson's personal trainer since 2012 and the husband of his ex-wife since 2014, Rienzi has been uniquely positioned to influence both Johnson's physical transformation and the complex personal dynamics surrounding it. The shocking revelation referenced in our title may ultimately be the recognition that this transformation was guided not just by professional considerations or health concerns, but by the intricate web of personal relationships, emotional complexities, and psychological pressures that define Johnson's inner circle and private life. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to check out more amazing content on our channel. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one.